What's up, y'all? For those of you that know me, y'all know my name. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Jada and welcome to Jay's Clubhouse. Hi. I'm back. I'm back in the fucking trap, y'all. Came back from school, finished my first year of college. Great. Woo! I got 3 more years to go. Yes, I have 3 more years of college to go. Which means I'm about to tell y'all all my business when it comes to college. Basically, the video that I'm gonna do today is red flags that I had with my previous roommate at Purchase. And y'all are probably gonna look at me and be like, why are we still talking about this? We're talking about it because it's gonna lead to something else, which is going to be another video. But for now, it's gonna be this. Specifically at my time with Purchase, I didn't really get too much in detail with it, now realizing and looking back at the old videos that I made, but I'm gonna kind of describe the situation without really seeing it because it's gonna be a story time to another story time to another story time. So today's gonna be red flags. Hopefully I don't make it too long. I don't want any portion of this video to get out of context, to be fair. And again, this is a old situation. This is an old situation of a person I don't deal with. I don't talk to them, I don't speak to them. And this is a perspective. This is my perspective. This is my, not even a perspective. This is my account on stuff that has happened to me. Don't think that all college roommates are this bad. I just say do y'all research before y'all even get into dealing with these people, because college is crazy. We claim that we all grown, but realistically, being grown doesn't mean that we all have the same level of intelligence, if that makes sense. So again, this is just stuff that has happened to me. I dormed with her my first year of school at Purchase, and it didn't go well because of the simple fact that a lot of things played into it in terms of like parties, boundaries, boys, and just the girl overall just being problematic, to be honest. Like, I feel like personally I ain't do nothing. I feel like I ain't really do nothing wrong up until a certain extent. I didn't really like catch on until later on. Like, you know, it happens. Like, we all make mistakes. I should have let the system handle it. But even then, the system was fucked. So I had to take the matters into my own hands, I guess.
You what?
Anyway, the first red flag is home life. And when I mean home life, I mean specifically like how a person is raised. Different stuff happen to different people. Obviously, we're all raised differently, and what I mean by that, I mean that some people may grow up in certain areas, some people may have trauma back home, and when it comes to being raised a certain way or going through this things that you go through, it adapts to how you are when you're older. And I feel like with this girl, I tried not to judge her too much, but realistically it was just weird. Like, I was raised in Brooklyn, she's raised in Queens, so I don't know if the circumstances was going to be that different because we're both city kids, but it was really different in terms of like what it was meant to be. Like, obviously, well, for me, I'm raised in a Caribbean household. My mom's Guyanese, so she teaches me like things that most Caribbean parents teach their kids, like, to be fair. And she come from a different background. I'm not gonna say too much on that. It's really a complicated situation, but she was just raised differently than I was. So her expectations of what to do in the dorm was different from my expectations and what we both kind of aligned with. We agreed on some things, but we didn't agree on everything. And I feel like because of what she went through when she was at home, it led into how she goes about school now and how she went about it like when I first got there too. Hey, Papio, we not twins. I was gonna be like, pop your shit, twin, but we are not twins. Papio, we already know what you pop. It's okay. Cleanliness. I'm a very clean person. I clean my room every week. Especially when I was in UA, I used to clean my room like every week when I got the chance, especially since classes and other stuff. We were good on cleanliness up until a certain point. So background to this, it was me, her, and then 4 other people I was living with. So obviously when we living in a suite of 6 people, it's gonna be kind of hectic because it's like everybody running around doing this, doing that, and then we have these friends that's coming over, have this group of friends coming over, so it was a lot. We basically had to clean up after everybody every time that they used to come over by our suite, which was kind of annoying, but you know, after a point I just stopped giving a fuck. If I'm not inviting people over, then I don't really care. I'm not cleaning up after them. That's y'all business. This girl would just do a lot. Like, she would just do a lot for these people. And because she's doing a lot for these people, she also not cleaning up after herself to a certain extent. Like, in the beginning of the semester, we were good on terms of agreeing to clean up after ourselves when it comes to like our side of the room, the bathroom, and like the like lounge space area where we would like watch TV and stuff. This girl would like to cook a lot, and she bought like specific, well, she didn't buy them, she stole them from Target, but that's for another day. She stole some utensils from Target at White Plains, and she like used to make food sometimes when it was like for a boy that she liked or that she was messing with, whatever, and then she would leave like the dishes in the sink. Mind you, the way that the bathroom is set up is it's 3 sinks, 1 bathroom stall, 1 toilet stall, and then it's 2 showers. So the space is already small as is, but then it's just like everything is lined up the way that it's lined up. So when she used to make food, she used to either just leave it at the place that she made the food at, or she'll bring it back to our dorm and then just leave the dirty dishes in the sink. Mind you, I had like dishes with me too, but my policy is that if I use the dish, I'm gonna wash it right after, because I'm not just gonna let it sit there and marinate and then now I don't want to clean it forever. She just left them dishes in there, and mind you, even up to the point where me and her was moving out or going to different dorms because of our fallout, she left those dishes in there until her mom and her family members told her to clean up the mess. Like, and that was the first time we ever seen that 1 sink clear of all the dishes. Like, we was like, wow, she finally cleaned it after her parents had to come and tell her to clean everything up in here, and she was kicked out. So yeah, stealing. This girl stole from me twice. This girl stole from me not once but twice, and we wasn't gonna make it a 3rd time. We didn't even make it to the 3rd time. She stole from me twice, and I had to clock her. I should have clocked her on it, but I didn't do it only because of the way that the circumstances were when it happened. First time she stole from me was, she stole a makeup brush that I had. But then I kind of caught her. Like, I was like, oh, whatever. Like, she stole a makeup brush I had, right? We were both getting ready. We were doing our makeup for an event that we were going to that was like literally outside of our dorm. So I guess like for whatever reason, I don't remember how it happened. I don't remember how like the blush got mixed up between the both of us. So we both had the same makeup blush. We both had the same e.l.f. putty. I think it was a putty one. I'm not too sure. We both had the same e.l.f. makeup blush. It was the same color and everything. Like, nothing was off. But we ended up using both of our blushes at different times or whatever. And I didn't know where mine was. I had a makeup bag that I had got. I had a makeup bag and she had a makeup box. So when I had my makeup bag, I usually put everything was all scattered around like my desk and my bed, but then I still gathered everything so I could put it back later on for when I come back. But then I didn't end up using my blush, but I was looking for it and I was like, where's my blush? Like, you know? Then I was like, oh, hey, da-da-da, have you seen my blush? She was like, no, I haven't seen it. She answered with the quickness and I was like, I don't trust that. So I asked her again. I was like, are you sure? Because we have the same makeup blush. Like, can you check in your makeup box to see if it's in there? Because she was putting her makeup box like on top of her closet and she already packed up everything. So I was like, let me just see if she like took it by mistake. Like, not assuming anything that she stole for real, but she took it by mistake. Then when she first opened her makeup box, when she was putting it on top of her closet, she automatically grabs it out. And mind you, I could tell the difference between our blushes just so we never got it mixed up. She used to use her makeup blush and it would look like she digged in it like it was Vaseline. I used to use a brush for the blush. So it's like I see the bristles that's on the makeup. She took it up and I opened it just to make sure to see it was mine, and it was mine on top. So I was like, that was kind of weird that she automatically got my stuff like on top of her thing, and then she opened it and automatically found it, even though she said that she didn't know where it was. Clock it. The second time that she stole from me was when she used like a hairbrush of mine. And mind you, this is crazy. I know you should never let other people use like your hair, like hair tools or whatever the case may be. I only let her use it because I use like a wooden bristle brush for my edges. So I let her use it because she said that she needed a brush to slick down her hair with. Mind you, I use a different brush for slicking down my hair. So I was like, okay, you could use it. I'll just wash it later. Most of the time I wash my utensils. Not my utensils. I wash my tools for when I'm doing my hair or doing other people's hair. I wash it all the time. Doesn't matter. Put alcohol and shampoo it. Then when she had went out the same day that she had slicked down her hair, I had came back from class and I was like, oh, let me just get back the brush so I could put back all my hair stuff, because I was also looking for other stuff to use for my hair and to do with it. And mind you, I'm looking for it. I'm like, okay, that's not here. And then I look like on her bed, like on her dresser and stuff, it's not there. But then when I look at her dresser, the dresser had like 2 slots in it. Like it had 2 open like cubby slots, and then it had like the drawers on top. I look at the bottom and I see that like she has like a little crate, kind of something for her hair, like a bunch of stuff for her hair, like a small crate. And I see that my brush is in there and she put it back as if the brush was hers. And I'm like, that's weird. I'm gonna take that back and leave it alone. And I never said anything after that because I was like, I'm just never gonna let this girl borrow my stuff. So yeah. That was a red flag. That was a red flag on my account and then also for hers, but I should have clocked that from way before. Anywho, boundaries. I mean by boundaries, I mean like our roommate agreement and our personal boundaries, but I'm going to get into that in a second. Personally, for me, the roommate agreements were not good enough. They weren't good enough, and I should have like done better with the roommate agreements, and we both should have done better, but I feel like they weren't good enough because they were so basic of roommate agreements that in case anything else complicated had happened, like we wouldn't know what to do in that situation, or we wouldn't be able to like hold somebody accountable for it. So the roommate agreements were like really basic, like, oh, let's show respect for each other, let's do this, if somebody has to like study, the other person has to be quiet and stuff like that, like basic rules. Because with coming into purchase doing housing was way different from me coming into UA doing housing, because UA, they're very strict on some of their rules. Like at least they have like a structure. Purchase don't have a structure for anything when it comes to stuff like that. When it comes to like the punishment aspect, they have a structure, but then it's like when it comes to the in housing structure, like setting up a roommate agreement, like sleeping in somebody else's dorm, or if somebody's visiting, like they don't have a structure for that. They don't. They could sit up here and say like they have their policies listed out, but it's like we don't even know that because the RAs didn't even really tell us anything. They don't have like weekly or monthly meetings like how UA does. Like they spoke to us one time in the beginning of the semester, they'll speak to you when it's break, and then that's it. Like there's nothing to that. When it came to our boundaries being put in place, like it was just weird because I didn't really cross the boundaries, to be fair. I didn't, because I was just like, I'm going to school, doing this, doing that. But then she would cross a lot of my boundaries, and I'm like, she would cross a lot of my personal boundaries, and then also the boundaries that we did have on that paper. So when it came to setting up boundaries, we should have been better on that, but her boundaries were terrible. Like she didn't have no boundaries, and I could tell. She's not one of those people that keep things personal. She would always come up to me when I'm like half asleep, asking me if I could like, if she could sleep in the same bed as me because she want to cuddle with somebody at the time. And mind you, I'm saying no, we're not doing that because I look like your man. Hello? Like, we're not doing that. Then it's my shadow in the back. Then she'll sit up here, tell me about like the stuff that she had going on with guys when I really didn't want to hear it at the time. Like I didn't care. Unless I would ask, then I would ask, and then she'll tell me. But then I didn't want to hear it 24/7. Us utilizing our rooms for whatever reason, like it just didn't, it was terrible. It was terrible. I feel like she crossed a lot of my personal boundaries in terms of like space, telling me certain things. Like she would be telling me her whole entire life story, and I didn't care. Like I did not want to hear any of that. Like there's a lot of boundaries that were crossed specifically on her account, but I feel like the boundaries should have been set more. I feel like that's one thing that people should know when they going into college. Like you have to be specific on your boundaries. Like be specific for each of your boundaries and make sure that y'all never cross it, and come to an agreement of what the boundaries should be set and what it's gonna look like if y'all do cross those boundaries. It's hard to decipher from a perspective of the RAs or whatever the case may be, and be like, it's a he said, she said situation, and they don't know what to do because y'all boundaries on a paper doesn't even look like what y'all talking about. It's so vague to the point where they don't even know what to do in the situation. Lack of experience, lack of life experience. I'm gonna say that, lack of life experience. Anything in life, like this girl lacked a lot of experience when it came to the most basic things. When it came to the most basic concepts, morals, actions, stuff like that. And it really was sad, but then it was just like, I ended up like teaching her certain stuff, and that was really my fault. I should have never done that. I should have never done that, because my parents was already telling me and be like, yo, don't be going up there being anybody, being a teacher or playing nice to anybody or doing too much for somebody. Like, my parents was already telling me that, but I just didn't listen. But I've experienced a good amount for my age. I understand being inexperienced though. I understand certain people being inexperienced when it comes to certain things, but then it's like when your inexperience starts to become problematic, that's when it's like, okay, you got to take a step back and let the girl learn. I'm basically telling the girl stuff that I would do in a situation or things that I would know, but then it's like she don't follow it. So it was kind of weird to even sit up here and cater to somebody who like their inexperience becomes problematic, and that's really like, it changes things, because if you're inexperienced, you will want to learn from stuff, but the girl would never want to learn. So it kind of like, her lack of life experience kind of dumbed things down to the point where it made other people feel uncomfortable, and also made the situation become very problematic, very weird. It's hard. The lack of life experience really did it for me, because I was just like, how do you want to do all these things and be around these people and do that, but then it's like you don't even know what's gonna happen if these people try and test you doing this, or if they betray you and stuff. Identity crisis. This girl doesn't know who she is. She doesn't know who she is, and that's one thing she will never have over me. She doesn't know who she is, but she gonna tell me about who I am and who I be with. Clock it. This girl doesn't know who she is, and it really did show. It showed a lot when it came to the people that she hang out with, her friends, and what she was doing behind closed doors that people will never sit up here and understand unless they in my shoes, or unless they actually go through the same thing with her. Again, her lack of life experience really did it for me, because if you don't really experience certain things in life, you don't really have the character development. She lacked a lot of self-development, and I feel like because she didn't really know who she was without certain people or around certain people or by herself, she was messing things up, for real. Like, she was messing up things for herself, and she was really ruining a good thing. And I feel like any person that doesn't know who they are by themselves shouldn't even be around people. Like, you don't even know who you are, so it's like you're gonna switch up every time you're around a different person, and then it becomes harder for the other people to really adapt to who you are, because you keep switching personalities. So nothing more has to be said after that, to be fair. Jealousy and envy. This girl, I could tell at some point she was really being a hater. She wanted the room to herself. Like, the main conflict between us was that she was trying to kick me out the room when I was supposed to be studying. But she was just very jealous and envious of other people. And even when she would come to me about this person hanging out with a boy that she liked, or this person talking to that person, I would be like, girl, worry about yourself. Worry about yourself, because everything is going to play out the way that it's going to play. Like, you sitting up here trying to construct a plan to make sure that this person don't talk to that person, and that this person pays more attention to you when they really looking at this person, or whatever the case may be. Even when it came to other people that I was into, she's over here eyeing them. She's eyeing them, and then doing certain things to like talk to them, impress them, make them laugh, and it's just like, okay. That when she with the girls, she acts a certain way. When she with the guys, she act goofy. Distraction from my studies. Again, I've said this before in like another red flag, that our main conflict was the fact that she was trying to kick me out the room while I was doing my studies. A lot of things that played into a lot of things, because when it came to her studies, I was actually helping her I was actually helping her when it came to the simplest assignment. I will never. This girl couldn't write a 300 to 500 word paper about her favorite song. That's literally all they did. I think she was taking like writing and critical inquiry, which, mind you, writing and critical inquiry is like the easiest class that you could take. It's the easiest gen ed you could ever take because it's just writing. It's just writing and analyzing what you're writing about. Mind you, you could pick any song. You could pick any song. Mind you, it's 2023. It's 2023, so obviously mad people were talking about Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. So she was saying that her favorite songs were off of that album. So I'm helping her with the paper. I'm like, yo, if you're stuck on writing about the song and you don't really know how to describe like the rhythm and the melody to the song, why don't you watch the video to the song? Because she said her favorite song was Calling. I think that's what the song is called. But yeah. She said that her favorite song was Calling. I said watch the video that they have for Spider-Man, because obviously they was coming out with a bunch of videos for the movie. So watch the video and reflect on how it describes the song, like how it does in comparison. She was like, yeah, you're right. What did she do? She just sat on her ass the whole entire time. Couldn't even finish the paper by the time it was due. And then when she come back to me saying that, oh, now the paper went from 300 to 500 to 750 words. And I'm like, you didn't even do the paragraph. You didn't even do the one page. So how are you going to sit up here and try to do the 750 and then you going to try to kick me out the room when you barely could do that? Like, that's the part that just fried me. Because I'm like, this not adding up. This is not adding up. How you gonna kick me out the room when I'm trying to study for my test and you can't even write a 1 to 2 page paper? So y'all, that's the end of this video. Ugh. Anyway, that's the end of this video. I hope you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you tell a friend to join Jay's Clubhouse, because there will be more in store, more drama, more tea, more liveliness, everything. Summer 2025 is really gonna be my comeback. It's really gonna be my comeback, because I'm gonna be making more videos knowing for a fact that I'm not in school anymore for summer break. Yeah, hope to see y'all next time.
Came back to again. You gon' have to do more.